Welcome to Living in Cincinnati. This is the first video in our series, and we're starting off with one of my favorite places here in the Greater Cincinnati area, and that's Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. Behind me, you've got Beechwood School, which is one of the largest draws to people who move to Fort Mitchell, is their highly ranked school system. Beechwood was founded in 1860, and it is a K through 12 independent school. So from the moment you begin school, you're gonna finish school there as a senior, and then you can move on after that. The road that we're on right now is Beechwood Road, and on the 4th of July, this place is packed. The residents right here in Fort Mitchell love their 4th of July parade. You'll also notice it down Dixie Highway, and there are cars and driveways, everything's full. They show up from all over northern Kentucky because Fort Mitchell's 4th of July parade is not one to be missed. Most of the homes right here in Fort Mitchell were built between the 1850s and the 1970s, and there's not a whole lot of land available to build on right here. So a lot of these homes here on Beechwood Road, or some of the homes here on Beechwood Road, you can see are brand new. And what happened is they bought a home, they tore it down and started fresh with the lot that they're on right now. So if you want a new house in Fort Mitchell, chances are you're gonna have to buy an old house and then put a new house on that lot. People who want to move to Fort Mitchell need to know what the home prices are here. So in 2022, the median sales price in Fort Mitchell was about $300,000, and the average was a little bit closer to $400,000. In the 1940s and 1950s, a lot of the old German construction hit right here in Fort Mitchell. So a lot of the homes that are built in this area, you'll see stone features on the fronts, and we'll actually drive through some neighborhoods and show you some of those features on some of these houses. On the streets down Beechwood Road, you're gonna have Thompson, Birdsall, Pleasant Ridge. Those homes are probably gonna be on the lower end of the price point here in Fort Mitchell. Once you get into Old Fort Mitchell, where you have some more custom homes and maybe some of the newer construction, you're gonna have homes that are in excess of $1 million. We're about to head over to what I call the Greyhound Tavern District in Remke Plaza to check out some of the local businesses that people right here in Fort Mitchell love to go to. We're here in Fort Mitchell in what I call the Greyhound Tavern District. That's just what I call it personally. And you've got things here like Big B Coffee, which is now under renovation. That's where a lot of my friends' kids go to grab a coffee before or after school. Right behind me, you've got the Greyhound Tavern. It started off in 1921. It's called the End of the Line, and that's where the Cincinnati trolley car stopped as far south as it would go right here in Fort Mitchell. A little bit to my right here, you've got the Remke Plaza. Now, this used to be a grocery store where a lot of people in Fort Mitchell would shop. But that grocery store went out of business and they turned the entire plaza into a burn boot camp. You've got Jersey Mike subs, there's a baseball card shop in there. Like I said, there's something for everybody here in Fort Mitchell. As we move over, we've got W. Stevens Cabinetry. You've got a veterinarian. A little bit further down the road, you've got a dentist office. There's Saddle Club, which is a bar. There's a Christian shop. There's all sorts of things right here in Fort Mitchell. As we go a little bit further, we've got one of my favorites, Camperoso Pizza, great wood-fired pizzas right here in Fort Mitchell. They just opened up in 2018. They survived through COVID, and a lot of people right here in Fort Mitchell supported that business. You've got to try Camperoso Pizza. And if you stick with us long enough, you can check out a couple of the hidden gems right behind the plaza over here, Braxton Barrel House and Bunches of Bows. Another hidden gem right here in Fort Mitchell is this store called Bunches of Bows. It's a boutique shop that sells all sorts of gifts, very quality stuff, and they've got toys for kids, they've got outfits and clothes and all sorts of things. Right behind me over here, you've got Braxton Barrel House. Another little secret here, it's a brewery right here in Fort Mitchell. They've got an outdoor taco truck. It's a great place to come and have fun on your nights and weekends. We're on the southwest side of Fort Mitchell right now, and we're coming to one of my favorite places. My daughter Olivia and I come to Grater's Ice Cream, which is a local Cincinnati favorite for ice cream. We come here every Tuesday when I pick her up from school, and it's just our special thing. So Grater's is one of Fort Mitchell's treasures right here. Right in the same area, you've got the Oriental Wok, which is a local Chinese food restaurant. The owner of Oriental Wok, Mike Wong, he's like a local celebrity. If you ever dine there, you'll see him walking around in his big vibrant shirts, and it's almost like he knows everybody. The place is like Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Also in the same area, you've got Brew Burger, which is a great pub for burgers and beers. You've got a real estate competitor right here, and there's just a lot going on over here because you've got Buttermilk Pike. There's a lot of restaurants, and that takes you right into Villa Hills, which is another community that we'll be talking about right here on Living in Cincinnati. Fort Mitchell is one of those places where people are a little bit more health conscious than the other areas of Kentucky. And what you see behind me here is a gym called Better Bodies. It's owned by a family company that also owns Silver Lake, the family place here. Right across the highway is a Sporta, which is another fitness place. And then there's local CrossFit gyms or trainer-led classes like Solid Body in Fort Mitchell and the Trax Fitness Lab in Erlanger, really close by Fort Mitchell. Other than the school systems, Fort Mitchell has very few parks, but the one park that it has is one that I take my kids to all the time. It's General Ormsby Mitchell Park, and you can see behind me that they're renovating this entire place. What you see is it's got faux grass instead of the crumb rubber or mulch, so it's gonna be very friendly for kids' feet, and it's freaking awesome. It's a great new park. It's my first time actually being here since they put the new park in, so I'm really excited to see what's going on here. I couldn't help but stop right here at Blessed Sacrament School. This is where my wife teaches and my daughter goes to school, and we are parishioners here at Blessed Sacrament. And it is a 4-time Blue Ribbon school, so whether you want a public school education, Beechwood, you can't go wrong there. And then you got Blessed Sacrament, both award-winning schools right here in Fort Mitchell. We're here at the Highland Cemetery Nature Trails. This is a local treasure for people who love to hike and just get out in nature. So we're gonna do a quick video. I'll show you one of the things that we like to do when I'm here with the kids and just kind of check things out. Yeah, so here they keep a logbook where you can sign in when you hike. And then you've got a map. And what the kids and I do when we come here to hang out, they got all different hiking paths that you can take. So we pick our hiking path and then we head off on the trail and we try to do a little scavenger hunt while we're out there, see what we can find. But it's pretty cool that they have this here in Fort Mitchell. If you're into hiking and you want to come out here and just spend the day in nature, there's all sorts of creeks and streams. There's actually a waterfall on these hiking trails that you can come to. It's very quiet. It's located in a cemetery. But this is all preservation and hiking trails for people of the community, inside and out, to come and enjoy. Pretty awesome. Fort Mitchell's broken up into a couple of different areas. So you've got North Fort Mitchell and South Fort Mitchell, and then you've got the Beechwood Road side of Fort Mitchell, and then you've got the Highland Avenue side of Fort Mitchell. So a lot of the parents who move here are kind of on the mindset of, can my kids walk to school? How far of a walk is it? Do I need to do a drop off, or do we need to run buses or anything like that? So on this side of Fort Mitchell, so we're right here by Blessed Sacrament School, you've got the Fort Mitchell Fire and Police Station just on the other side of this street right here. So we're on the south side of Fort Mitchell on the, let's call it the east side of Dixie Highway. On this side, you can see some of the houses behind me, very German construction. You got some stone work there. Fort Mitchell's got a lot of Cape Cod style houses where it is 1.5 stories. On this side, you're gonna have homes that range anywhere from about $250,000 on up to maybe $600,000. But your more expensive homes you're gonna find across Dixie Highway. Over in the Ivy League streets, you'll hear me talk about that on our Fort Mitchell map tour. If you want to check out the video of our map tour of Fort Mitchell, it's going to break down the different areas more visually for you. But on this side, you're going to have more of that middle range price point for Fort Mitchell. And then your higher end stuff is going to be in the Ivy League streets, and then further on down into the old Fort Mitchell, Fort Side Drive, Crumpleman Avenue. So we've bounced all over Fort Mitchell, showing you what Fort Mitchell has to offer, and hopefully by now you've seen that it's got something for everybody. You've got fitness studios, you've got nature trails and hiking, you've got 2 awesome school districts here, you've got shopping, a dentist office, you've got restaurants for pretty much every appetite. And not to mention, Fort Mitchell's got a wide range of price points that could suit you. And keep in mind too, we're only about 10 to 15 minutes away from Cincinnati Airport and about 12 minutes away from downtown Cincinnati. So just outside of Fort Mitchell, there are so many things to do. It's a great place to call home right here in Greater Cincinnati.